Well, good evening, all my little bun buns. It is Daisy here with you tonight, and well, I'm wearing Baby Bob's body still because I just did a video on her, and I felt like coming out here and doing more stuff, but I didn't want to keep wearing that head. It is fairly buckety, and it's harder to actually talk in. So Daisy came out to play, and I'm still all green and cute. I'm also wearing a tutu at the moment, so it's a thing. With lots of feather boas. Well, tonight's going to be a Game Thoughts video. Definitely one that I know a lot of people actually liked, so probably won't get any hate commenters on this one. We are playing, or talking about, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which I never said right for the longest time, because I'm special when it comes to reading weird words, and I had said so many different things instead of Ocarina. So there you go. Now, I didn't buy an N64 right when they came out. I got mine around the phase where they just started coming out with the candy-colored clear variants, and this was actually one of the first games I picked up used, and I'm really happy about that because, well, it doesn't suck. If for anyone that hasn't figured that out yet, it didn't suck. It's really good. As far as Legend of Zelda games go, this was definitely a major change up since prior to this we were all the kind of top view, 2D, and the one time that was side scroller. So this jump into the 3D world was really cool. Even today, going back and playing this version, it's not bad. Could be better. I mean, yes, it is early 3D polygon-y type people game, but overall, because a lot of things weren't necessarily people, things were a little easier to deal with. Monsters and creatures don't necessarily look as bad if you're not assuming they're supposed to not be the way you're seeing them. Kind of like Mario Brothers. You look at a Goomba. It's a mushroom with feet. If all you're expecting was to be a mushroom with feet, you aren't going to be wondering everything else about it. Why don't I see warts on it? Why don't I see other details? It's a mushroom with eyes and feet. And that's how life was. So you weren't expecting anything different. This game actually fulfilled all the basics. Now, some spoiler alerts if for anybody that hasn't played this yet for some reason. You start the game off as a young Link in a village he was kind of adopted into these strange forest children. And you're raised by apparently a large sentient tree. There's a dungeon inside of him. What? Okay, we'll deal with that. That's fine enough. It's the Deku tree. He's cool. So you go around, you do some fetch quests, find your sword and find your shield, do some little learning things. Goody. Basically learn our controls while hanging out in the village with these perpetually children. When later games get kind of reformatted, because they're not really children, they just choose that form. They've turned into other things, which, well, they're little forest critters. I find interesting, and that they chose to be humanoid for a while. Now, once you've gotten all your basics, you get to go in, have an adventure inside Mr. Deku Tree, your father figure tree, to get one of the MacGuffins to help you through the game. Then you adventure out, and there's several other dungeony things you have to do as a small person. And eventually you get the Ocarina of Time from Zelda. She throws it at you as she's being kidnapped. And you're now able to use it to travel in time with the Song of Time to become an adult. Um, and you have big sword and you have even more dungeons to go through. Forgive me for not rubbing every single detail in a row here. It's been a while since I've actually played this one. uh, you end up with a lot of interesting characters you run into. The Zoras are really well fleshed out here. The Gorons are really well fleshed out. And the the Hylians, the human-y type people, actually have a pretty cool town and a lot going on there. And a lot of interesting little mini games here and there of things to do and stuff to catch. So many little side, you know, micro quests like planting seeds so that grown-up you will have a little platform to rise up on to get to some other thing that's hidden up high. Uh, the the whole transition from the castle in the young Link phase to the volcanic cray-cray place and future adult Link place, it's really neat because once Ganon takes over while you're between time A and time B, stuff goes to hoo-ha, and the hellish world that is the Hyrule castle and town is a lot spookier and nifty looking than it was when you were a kid. Uh, and you can travel back and forth between the two time frames, and you have to for certain things. Because you have to be able to be small to do something, then you can change back. It has a big element of there's a lot of space to be. Um, this one has a lot going on. There's a lot of side quests, a ton of findy things, a ton of little collect or kill type functions in the game, and a lot of interesting bosses. Um, the dungeons are all pretty easily, learned out as Zelda type dungeons go. Um, and overall, I'd say it's a total grade A game. Still not my favorite Zelda. Uh, it's high on the list, mind you. It's hard to say which one is still my favorite. I have big love for one, and A Link to the Past and Link's Awakening, both versions of that one. So it's hard to say which one is really my favy because there's so much in each one that makes each one a unique experience. It's a fun thing to be in. So it's hard to pick. But this is definitely high on the list of this is a really fun game, and it's a really good one for anybody that wants to enjoy a 3D environment. It's not too picky about the fact that it's a 3D environment. Now, we own all the Zelda games past this one. I don't think I've actually played any of the ones past this one. I mostly just ended up watching them because I tried to pick up and go into them, and I wasn't feeling it anymore. And so, it happens. But, well, it's a good one. You can probably find enough copies of it cheap out there. Um, it's been on enough emulation stores at this time, depending on if any of those are still active. I know most of those have been closed over the years. Thanks, Nintendo. I like paying you money and getting stuff. They also re-released it on the 3DS, so you have an option to play it there. Pretty sure I picked that up too. I think I only got like a little ways in because I was like, oh, yes, that game. I missed that game. I'm glad I could have a 3D. And okay, I'm bored. I've played this enough times already. Just put it back down. Problem, some games like this, it does get to the point of you've played it enough and you get bored. Not everything can be Final Fantasy 1, which would make me pick it up 10 more times and play it all the way through just because it existed. Yeah, I have a problem with that. Anyway, it's a game. I recommend it. If you've somehow missed playing it, go for it. There's a lot of good dungeons. There's plenty of walkthroughs and helpies on the internet if you get lost. Tons of those. Because it was popular enough, people wrote stuff. Yay, people! So, that's a game. So for now, I definitely want to thank you for watching and listening to me babble on about a game that I enjoyed. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that little dingly bell down there, and it'll alert you whenever I post new videos. And if you're so inclined, you can hit that Patreon link down in the description. That'll help you if you want to help support the channel, which I appreciate every penny that's donated. You're not required, but I do appreciate every bit that I get donated. It all goes towards helping make this a better channel, which everyone wants. Everyone wants me to have more fun things to do for you, more interesting costumes and lighting, and general fun. So, yeah, that's the thing. But for now, definitely want to thank you all for tuning in here and watching, and hope you all have a bunny-rific rest of your day. Mwah. Good night, Fluff Fluffs.